Hey everyone. Thought I'd show you a puzzle solved today. This is called a Square-2. It's an extension of a more popular puzzle called the Square-1. I don't know if it's actually popular or not. But anyway, all the tutorial videos I've seen on this reduces it to a square one and then solves. So I wanted to show a pure solve where it's treated like its own puzzle. So here are the Square-1 and the Square-2 side by side. So they look a lot like the same puzzle, but you'll notice the corners on the Square-1 are solid, they're bandaged, they're twice as wide as the edges, whereas here the corners are split in two. So on the Square-2, every 30 degrees is its own piece. So it doesn't bandage like the Square-1. Square-1, you can do this slice move, and then certain orientations don't turn because of the bandaging. Okay. So that's cool. It's a different dynamic. It means the Square-2, it's not as restricted. You can just do more moves and you won't be blocked by bandaging. So one way to solve this, as I said in the intro, is you just pair up the corners. So like, these corners, they can split. That's not possible on the Square-1. So one possibility, I'll show you a scramble later, but if you start scrambled, you pair those up, and once you have all 8 corners paired, you can solve it like a Square-1, and that's a fun way to do it. That's what I did at first, because I had this puzzle sitting on my shelf, and I was like, I just need to check the box. I just need to solve it. So that's what I did, because that's what I knew how to do, and it wasn't really hard. Like sometimes you'll pair up some corners, and when you go to pair the next corner, some pieces are in the way and it breaks it. You just figure out, you move it around the cube a little bit. So that's not hard. You don't need a special algorithm. It can be done intuitively. All the tutorials I see do it that way, but there is another way to solve it, which is why I'm making this video. Tingman, another guy who makes these tutorial videos, he showed him doing this. Like, he didn't show like a tutorial. He just said, oh, I'm going to solve this thing. It was like a solving with no help video. And that's how he did it. It was cool, but like it's kind of a challenge. If you want to give yourself a challenge with the Square-1, you can do this puzzle, and it's like you have to know your algorithms really well, and it kind of tests your finger dexterity. It tests your ability to do like 30-degree moves versus 60-degree moves. Like if you know the notation for Square-1, I have some here. Like what's a -1 versus a -2 or a -4. If you do that wrong, you'll split a corner in half and you'll have to start over. So that's a neat challenge, but there's a different way to solve this, which basically puts one piece in place at a time. It's much simpler and less algorithm heavy than the Square-1. I think if I had to save one puzzle, if there was like a house fire or something, well, that wouldn't be my first priority, but I would grab this one because it is both puzzles. It's its own thing, and then it's a Square-1. Let's see. Something we have to note before we start is the color ordering, which is the same as on a Rubik's Cube or all the standard cubes, all the standard like shape mods that are colored like a Rubik's Cube. So on a regular Rubik's Cube or a Square-1, you really don't have to have that memorized, because on the Square-1, like the corners are fused, so you don't have to remember that, on yellow, if I'm going clockwise around the puzzle, it's red, and then it's green, and then it's orange and blue, and then on the white side it's reversed. You do have to remember that on the Square-2, and I'll show you a trick. If you forget at the end, you can actually use a Square-1 algorithm to fix that if you made an oopsie during your solve, and you won't make a mistake putting the sides together. Like this full edge, like this piece is an edge piece, but say I correctly put the orange half corners, the orange edge, and the orange edge together on one side. Like, that part is solved, but it's next to red. I know that's wrong. I look at my quote unquote solved puzzle, and I see that's wrong. I can switch those pretty easily. Okay, so let's do that. Let's give this a scramble, and then I'll show you how to start solving it. Okay, so here we are. we've got this slice in the middle. So we're just going to start scrambling. I'm going to start doing slice moves, rotating. You can see how it shape shifts, and it shape shifts in a different way from the square one. So I'm not doing any algorithms here. You don't have to follow along. Just, however you scramble it, you'll be able to do the solution that I'm showing. Okay, so I gave it a good scramble. Okay, you can tell it's pretty fully scrambled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting pieces in place. You can choose whichever piece you want. Whichever color you want, yellow or white, to be the top or the bottom. If at the end your equator is flipped, it's easy to flip it. It's just a couple of moves, very simple. So that doesn't matter. You don't have to keep track of that through the solving of the puzzle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the solved part on the bottom to the left of the slice line. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move pieces from the top to the bottom. And to do that, so here, I'm going to just start with this blue and yellow half corner. So I know that an edge goes here. I know that an edge goes next to it. All right. So I'm going to find that edge. Here's the blue and yellow edge. It's on the top, which is good. That's where I need it to be to move it down. So I'm going to move it. It's on the top. I'm going to move it, if I'm got it in back, it's to the right of the slice line. So it's gonna move, and it's gonna end up next to this piece. So let me just see if that's correct. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a blue and yellow half corner next to the blue and yellow edge. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this, and the next piece is the other blue and yellow half corner. So I'm going to move that again. If I'm looking at it head on, it's in the back. It's to the right of the slash line, and the solved part is on the bottom to the left of the slash line. And slice move. Okay, so now I have a full edge constructed, half quarter edge. Half corner. Okay. And then I have to put the next piece in. So, okay, so if I'm looking at this, if yellow's on top and I'm going, I guess that's clockwise around the puzzle, the next piece here, it's going to be so let's see, it's blue, red going this way. So orange is going to be over here. Okay, so I'm going to have to start putting these orange half corners. One of them is going to go here. Okay, so if I only have less than 6 pieces done, this is easy to do. I can just kind of, move. I'm going to move both because I don't know. I lose track and I can't tell which one goes next just by looking at it. Okay, so I'm going to put my solved part again to the left of the slash line on the bottom, and then I can kind of tell that this orange and yellow corner goes in, and there we go. Okay. Okay, so I've started solving that yellow face, and I've gotten 7 pieces in place, and this is where it gets a little trickier. This is where you have to have some algorithms, because notice, like, say I have the piece set up here. I don't yet, but say I have the piece set up on the top to move down to the bottom, and I do this slice move. Like, look what happens when I do the slice move. I'm breaking up a piece that's solved, right? That green piece, that green half corner, is supposed to go next to the orange. And if I do that slice move, it breaks it off. If I click this, so I'm actually ready to construct. I'm ready to put the green yellow edge piece in place. Say I've got it in place. If I start to do it, whoops, I'm breaking off that blue and yellow half corner. Okay, so now I need an algorithm, and we're going to need some notation. Okay, so whichever one you prefer, this is the standard Square-1 notation. If you already know that, you know the slash is the slice move. You know that the -1 means move the top. Sorry, the first number is where the top moves. The second number to the right of the comma is where the bottom layer moves. So these are all top moves. So this is an easy algorithm. But the -1 just means move the top in the counterclockwise direction. The 1 for this last move means move in the clockwise direction. And then I saw an online solution. It didn't give a video tutorial, but it explained how to do this. And it gives this standard like Rubik's Cube notation. Like the R move, it's with the right hand, it's on the right side. It's just a slash move. And R and R prime are the same thing. It's just a 180-degree turn at the slash. And then the U prime it's the same thing as the -1. It's one click in the counterclockwise direction. And then the U is one click in the clockwise direction. Okay, so that's the algorithm. We're going to use that to solve. Okay, so back to this. I haven't solved anything yet. So let me take this. I need this green-yellow edge piece because that's the next piece. It goes next to my green-yellow half corner that I have solved. Okay, so something that a lot of tutorial videos don't do well, they'll explain an algorithm or they'll explain like, oh, just move this around on the cube until you get to here. And it's very fuzzy. So there's always like a setup move and then an algorithm, okay? Like you can't just be all algorithms because then you'd have to have an algorithm for every possible state of the cube. Okay, there's a setup move like put this place here in this recognizable position, then do this move and it'll move, you know, it'll pair these two, it'll move this to a location that's predictable without interrupting the other pieces on the cube. Something like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, here's the setup. The setup is move the piece that I want, move it on the bottom to the right of the slice. Okay, and then I'm going to do this algorithm. It's going to move it to the top without disturbing the stuff I already have solved. Okay, so that's where I need it. So slice move, -1, slice move, -1, slice move, 1, slice move. Okay, so did that fulfill its promise? Let's see. Yep. All of my yellow pieces on the bottom are still solved, and my yellow green edge piece is on the top. Okay, so now I'm going to do that same algorithm, but the setup here is different. I'm gonna set it up the same way as I did my intuitive solve where I got the first 7 pieces in place. So I'm going to put that yellow green edge piece on the top. If I'm looking backwards at it, it's to the right of the slice in the back, and then my solved part is to the left of the slice in the front. So there we go, take one last look, and then we're going to solve it. So slice move, -1, slice move, -1, slice move, 1, slice move, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that. What's the next piece we've got? What's the next piece? It's this yellow green half corner. I'm going to put it on the back to the right of the slice. Again, I'm going to put the solved portion to the left of the slice on the bottom, and I'm going to do that algorithm again. Okay, so slash -1, slash -1, slash 1, slash. And check it out. Okay, we're almost done. We just have to put the red edge in place. So this is a really fun puzzle because you're just putting one piece in place at a time. It feels like a very like mellow, very calm solve. Different from other solves. Other puzzles are just kind of pure chaos and you can't see how it's going together. This one, it's kind of satisfying. It's like, okay, I'm just creating order one piece at a time. All right, so I'm going to do that. Let me just finish the bottom, but that's the algorithm to do it. So I went ahead and solved the bottom. So I just did that algorithm repeatedly until all the pieces were in place. Okay. I think if you just rewind the video, watch that a few times, you'll get it. You don't have to see me do the full solve. It's kind of tedious anyway. But now let's start fixing the top. Okay. So what's cool is there's an algorithm that all it does is it swaps 2 pieces on the top, which are on either side of the median. So I've actually got a partially constructed red side here. So, and I've got my next piece. This just happened by happenstance, but it's a happy little coincidence for the tutorial. The next piece I need is here. This needs to swap with this orange piece, and then they'll be done. Okay? So again, we have some notation. Okay, so it's the same thing. The slash is a slice move. -1 is 30-degree click counterclockwise. A 1 is a 30-degree click clockwise. And then the first number is the top. The second number is the bottom. Okay, so here it's a little bit more involved than the first algorithm because there are top and bottom moves. But this isn't hard. This isn't like anywhere near the level of the Square-1 algorithms where there are like 2s and 3s and 4s, and like some moves move both layers at the same time, but in different directions. So let's just start. Let's just do this algorithm, okay? You'll notice something happens to the bottom layer, and we'll deal with that. All right. So I'm going to move the pieces I want to swap on either side of the slice. Okay. So slice -1, slice 1, 1. Okay. Same number means the top and bottom go in opposite directions. Slice -1, slice. Okay, so check that out. That orange and red half corner swapped, and now it's in place. The bottom also swapped, but that's fine. Like, these will swap again. It's not going to mess up the whole bottom. It's just going to swap two pieces, and as I keep putting pieces in place, it's going to swap, okay? This is wrong. It goes red, blue, not red, green, but I'll fix that. I'll actually fix that at the end. I'll show you a trick, okay? I'm just going to do a couple more swaps, and I won't show the whole thing, the whole solve, but you'll see that this comes together if I just keep doing this algorithm, okay? So again, my messed up, I haven't moved anything. My messed up two bottom pieces are the same, but they're to the left and right of the slice. So these will swap, and it'll be solved. The bottom will be solved again when I do this. I'm going to move this blue over. I know it's in the wrong order, but as I said, I'll fix that. I'm just going to swap this orange and blue white half corner. Okay, so 1, 1, 1, -1, swap. Okay, so my yellow face is solved again. I swapped that blue and orange piece. I'm going to keep these here. I'm going to move this blue piece over until it's in between, okay? So So it's kind of zen. You're just moving pieces into place until you've established order. So I took a break. I stepped away and solved it almost, but I've got this parity case here. So I got all the edges complete on the white side, but it so happened I did an odd number of moves. I did an odd number of this algorithm on the board here, and that means two pieces on one layer swapped. Okay, so what do I do there? I'm not going to show this because this is again tedious. But if I move this piece here, it's going to just swap two pieces up here. So that doesn't fix anything. So I can't go this way. I'm gonna actually make the yellow my top layer. Okay, for a sec. Okay, so I can't take this piece this way, even though it's tempting. I want to just move it one piece. I have to take it all the way around the cube, okay? So I have to put this here. I have to swap this red-yellow edge and this green-yellow half corner, and then swap with this one, and then swap with this one. And so it'll leave everything fixed. If I just do those pairwise swaps, it'll just move this red-yellow edge all the way around until it gets to here. So I'll just do that a couple times. You'll get the idea. Okay, so it's moving. I'm going to move this to here. I messed this up, but it's going to fix it when I do it again. Okay, bottom's fixed. Top still moving. Check it out. I got like the fist shape from the Square-1. Okay, but I'm not done. Okay, so this guy, if you can see what's happening, my green edge is totally reconstructed. My red single edge is just going around the cube. So sorry, I keep talking about edges and edge pieces. So this is an edge piece, and then when I've solved a full edge, I have the two half corners and the edge piece in place. I'm calling it an edge. So pardon my sloppy vocabulary for this. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to do that off camera. Check it out. I got the kite shape. Okay. Okay, so I did that full correction, and I quote-unquote solved it, but uh-oh, my constructed edges, the full edge, it's in the wrong color order, okay? So I've got blue and green in place. This just means I constructed it wrong. We can actually fix this with a Square-1 algorithm, okay? So check this out. I got my Square-1 here. So remember the corner swapping algorithm? So say let's do that on a solved cube, and we'll see what it actually does. It actually takes, it doesn't just swap corners. You know, if you follow what it's doing, it actually takes a whole an edge piece and a corner piece like these, and it swaps those. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. This goes back. This goes back. This goes back. Bam. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to show. Okay, so this edge and corner piece were over here. It took them both together and it swapped them over here. Same here, okay? So if you think about that algorithm, like it's actually taking a quarter of the top and swapping two of the quarters and leaving the other two in place, okay? So if I think about that, you know, I'm going to swap quarters, but I'm not going to do it like an edge piece and a completed corner, like two half corners together. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to take these quarters and I'm going to swap them. Okay, so that's the setup. Okay, so I'm in a position now where I'm ready to do the algorithm. I scrambled it and solved it off camera a couple times, but my white layer is still not solved because, again, I've got green next to blue, that's wrong. I've got orange next to red, that's wrong. So it needs to go red, blue, then orange, then the green. Okay, so what do I need to do? Looks like if I just swap red and green, it'll solve it, right? So I'm going to do this, the quote-unquote corner swapping algorithm, the corner, what is it, permutation algorithm for the Square-1. What I'm going to do, I'm going to misalign, okay, because I need these quarters to move. It's just easier to keep track. Off camera, I goofed a couple of times. I messed up the algorithm because the bottom layer was different shapes. These are all quarter turns, so I should just always see during my solve that they're quarter turns. It shouldn't slice into any kind of weird shape. Okay, so let's just do it. So it's slice move, 3 clicks, slice move, 3 clicks for the top, slice move, top starts going back, slice move, bottom follows, slice move, we're almost done, slice move. Okay, so cool. So we're almost done, but oh geez, what's wrong? Let's see, do I have the colors in the right order? Red, blue, orange, green. Okay, so it must just be that the equator needs to flip. Let's check the top real quick. Looks like we're almost done. Yep. We go blue, red, green, orange. Alright, so let's just flip the equator. And so the way I like to do that, it's a little less smooth on the Square-2 because both layers kind of catch a little bit, but I'm just going to flip. I'm gonna turn the equator 180 degrees, and then I've got that kite shape, and then I flip it again. Okay, and it's totally solved. You're welcome.